Hello and welcome to Will Watches. This is Moon Knight episode 1. So I don't know a lot about the character apart from that he is kind of based on Egyptian gods and stuff, and the main character, Mark Spector, right? He has like multiple personalities that kind of take over his body, so this is going to be really weird and trippy a bit, I think. So this is actually coming out on the 1-year anniversary of the channel, a full year since my first video, which was Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So if you are still here from all that time ago, a big thank you for sticking around, or if you've stuck around for a long time, you know. So before we jump into this, be sure to check out the Patreon. Over there you can find full-length timer-based versions where you can just sync up your own footage and watch along with me in case there's anything that was cut out from the YouTube edit. You can also find polls so you can vote for what's next, and you can find early access to shows that aren't currently airing.
When the pool of tears beneath my feet flood every new
Oh, this is Ethan Hawke's character. Yeah, we've seen him with that walking stick before.
to look back on any mistake. Like Cain and now.
Okay, he's gonna walk in these boots that have glass shards in them.
Every day I start out, then I cry my
I know he has, you know, multiple personas, so did a different persona tie himself to the bed? Or he did it to himself so he didn't go out in the middle of the night and do something? And tape there so he can see if he left during the night.
I wake up every morning still feeling like I got hit by a bus.
So he wakes up injured every night because of, you know, being a superhero the night before. He feels like he's got insomnia as well because every night he's out without knowing. I hope his origin story is actually him going to Egypt, because I know that's what it is in the comics. It's not just he's working at this museum and it's an artifact from Egypt that gives him powers or whatever.
Don't know how many times I have to tell you this. You're not the bloody tour guide, Stevie.
Stephen, actually, I am.
So he's just at the gift shop. I mean, we already see just there that he's good with kids.
Just checking, we still on for 7 tomorrow?
7 tomorrow.
Best steak in town?
Are you asking me out?
He's already asked her out.
I know how's a bloody vegan going to eat in a steakhouse.
I don't know, Donna. Salad?
Yeah,
So one of his alternate personalities is like really smooth and charming.
I don't even know about it until I wake up wherever. That's why I try and stay awake at night.
Is this actually someone he knows, or is he just talking to the statue just to have someone to talk to?
You can't have ankle restraints on a bed, can I? That's the definition of a red flag, isn't it?
Well, she might be into that. Yeah, what's with the sand around his bed? You can see if he's broken the sand line, like if he's taken a step out.
And welcome to Staying Awake. Let's start with trying to solve a puzzle.
Oh, so he actually wants to stay awake so he doesn't fall asleep and go sleepwalking. What he thinks is sleepwalking.
Solving puzzles is a great way to keep your mind awake.
And he spends all this time researching. I know he gets like his powers from one of the Egyptian gods. I don't know the name of whoever it is, whatever one it is though. He's got a broken jaw. So he obviously got in a fight last night. Yeah, this is like completely different country.
You're not supposed to be here.
Yep, I completely agree. Where are you?
Surrender the body to Mark.
Mark Spector, one of his other personalities, right?
What are you doing?
Don't just stand there. Run!
Where is this? It looks like a European country somewhere. I don't know why seeing that castle made me think, imagine them introducing that Varia here. It'd be random for them to introduce it here, but that is something they could do, I guess. And here he is. I'm assuming this guy is the villain.
We are here to make the earth as much like heaven as possible. Who'd like to go first?
Offering your soul for judgment.
Offering your soul for judgment. Oh, scales, they're, you know, symbolic of judgment.
This is the face of a good man.
What happens when it's someone who isn't good, though?
I'm sorry.
I've been good my entire life.
But are you only being good out of fear for this judgment?
Yet Amit has decided.
She just dies like that. So he wants to create like a pure world. That's his motive, basically. Reminds me a bit of like Light Yagami, but he isn't really the one controlling, making the decision.
Dua Amit!
Oh, bollocks. I work at a gift shop. My name's Stephen Grant.
You will give him nothing.
Here.
Is this other voice the voice of Mark Spector, or is it the voice of the god?
Just take it. Oh, God! Am I trying to save my life?
Take him!
No, the idiot's back.
So yeah, we're not seeing any of him as Mark Spector, right? We're only seeing the Steven side. I mean, he's definitely going to be late to work today if he's in this completely other country.
All right.
Is he going to miss his date too? I'm liking them building up the mystery here. Obviously, I know some of this because I already knew a bit about the character. Wasting all these cupcakes. Yeah, I love the way this is filmed, them just cutting, you know, you get the flashes and it just cuts to him waking back up. So they all have this, the scale tattoo. Oh, the logs from before. Then he thinks it's all just a dream. You know, if he's setting up all of these precautions to show that, you know, he hasn't left his room, it's obvious that his other personalities know about them, so they can just reset them. But maybe he'll see that he actually has the little scarab.
I wonder what fishes dream about.
Are his postcards from places that he's actually going? They're not from his mum or something?
What the fish?
He's got two fins. So something happened to his fish and then his other personality got a replacement and he's starting to notice some discrepancies.
Are you mad? The fish is wrong, the time is wrong, you're not quite right.
Oh, sorry, I've got a date.
Is Mr. Date and is Miss Work?
We're still expecting one more.
Did she not show up, or is it like the complete wrong day? Has he like missed an entire day?
Punchy. Calling me now.
What? What do you mean? I'm at the restaurant.
I ate steak by myself, thank
2 days ago. This means he's probably lost his job now as well.
Yeah, well, I'm going to bring her around soon, I think. Yeah, I think you'd love her. Yeah, she's got a great sense of humour.
He's put his life at risk here now because he told the other guy his full name. He told Arthur his full name. So there's a chance that they'll show up at his work now. One thing that's always realistic in these shows and movies is how big the apartments are. No way a gift shop worker would be able to afford a London apartment this big, even if it's a bit tatty. But you know, his other personalities might be bringing in more money. Something under the table.
Alright.
All from Layla.
Oh my god, you're alive.
Yeah, alright. Who do you think I am?
What do you mean, who? What's wrong with you, Mark?
Steven. You need to stop. Who said that?
That kind of sounds like Oscar Isaac's voice. Is this like Mark talking to him? Yeah, he's gonna like talk to himself in the mirror.
Oh, what's happening?
Is this an earthquake or is this just him experiencing this himself? No. Oh, that was cool. It like glitching forward almost. He's just jumping back and forth, isn't he? Oh, he's there. He's been following him, yeah.
Will you just like not let anyone in, yeah?
It's a museum, bruv. It's gonna be different.
Yeah. I'm surprised he even has his job because he had some days off when he was like away. Unless Mark Spector is also like doing his job when he's in control, which probably is. That's how he got that date set up.
I'd assumed Stephen Grant was an alias. I'll imagine my surprise to find you here.
Excuse me, Ronnie. This man right here, he's been following me. No, I don't know.
Where's Amit?
No.
It's maddening, isn't it? The voice in your head.
So he does know.
And the more you ask for help, the more you begin to sound like the boy who cried.
Is he gonna receive judgment but be actually seen as a good person, maybe?
There's chaos in you.
There's chaos, yeah, it can't decide, okay. But it didn't decide that he was a bad person.
Where are you, you little bugger?
It's a cool effect. Okay, so there is actually something here. Yeah, some weird monster there. There was a cool shot. That statue had like half a face, and then the other half of his face kind of filled that in, showing like his split personality a bit.
Stephen Grant of the gift shop. Give me the scarab.
Okay, so this is part of Arthur's plan. He's set this thing free. Or there are multiple of them. Gonna knock over that vase. But Mark will take over at some point, right? If he's in, it seems like whenever he's in danger, Mark takes over.
Stephen, I could save us.
Yeah, he needs to hand over control.
You need to give me control. Do you understand? What control of what? What are you talking about? You gotta give me control. It's the only way. I'm gonna die. You're gonna die, Stephen.
I love this music, building it up.
You're not gonna die. Let me save us.
It's crazy how much just the confidence and his body language changes. Like how you kind of perceive him, how you look at him. Great acting, you know. The costume was like half forming up around him as well. Yeah, what a great reveal. Okay, so that was episode 1 of Moon Knight. Really great first episode. I think that might be the best first episode of all of the Disney Plus shows. You know, just building up this mystery. I think for most people, if you're like a fan of comic books and comic book movies, you kind of knew what the mystery is anyway, but it's still cool to see how the characters react to things being revealed to them. You know, it's the character interaction that really drives it here. I'm sure there's some people who still were like intrigued by the mystery here, but I feel like a lot of people knew what it was, and you know you're signing up for a superhero show with this as well, so you kind of expect the alternate personality to be a superhero, you know. But I know there's also like even more personalities, right? Because there's like the Mr. Knight personality, and I don't know like how many there are, how many layers and how many personalities there are to this. It seems like everything that he sees is actually real. I was wondering, you know, is it just going to be multiple personalities, or is he going to be questioning what's real and what's fake? Will there be like some reveal that something he believed was fake this entire time, or in his head this entire time? I'm not exactly sure. I think all of this stuff is actually real, actually happening here, you know. He has the multiple personalities, but I don't think he's seeing like visions or anything. I mean, he is seeing visions, but I don't think like this fight with these monsters is a vision. I don't think any of this, him being a superhero, is a vision or anything like that, you know. When I'd seen the trailer, I was a bit worried about the accent, but I think the accent is kind of purposefully a bit weird. It's kind of put on because this is the alternate personality of Mark. I don't know which one is like the main personality, you know, but this Stephen personality, maybe he's just like putting on this accent, so it doesn't have to be like the most perfect English accent, but it is good. Like, it sounds very timid, like it fits his character well, you know. But he just believed that he had this kind of sleepwalking problem this entire time, and we see he's put up all of these like preventative measures. He's like attached himself to his bed. He's got this sand to see if he's like stepped on it, and he's got the tape on the door. But of course, his other personality of Mark, he knows all of this stuff, so he can just put all of that back. And then they built up a bit of mystery with this woman on the phone who knew Mark as well. So I'm wondering what's going on there. Maybe after this he can phone her again and find out a bit more information. I don't know if she knows about the multiple personality thing, because it seems like maybe once she realized she was talking to Steven and not Mark, she hung up. So there is still some mystery here with that, and with all of Mark's past as well. You know, like, are we going to see any of that origin story in flashbacks, or are we just going to jump straight in, because we've kind of started like halfway through the story essentially. We haven't seen the origin. It makes sense to do it from Steven's perspective, you know. So then we also have our villain, Arthur Harrow, I believe his name is. That was a great first scene, just to show how devoted he is, putting the glass in his shoes. And I'm wondering why he does that. Is it just like to prove his devotion to the god, or is there like some significance, some historical significance behind that I don't know? Or I was also thinking, like, maybe it's to accurately fake his limp, because I know some actors, they'll put like a stone in their shoe if they're playing a character that needs a limp, so they can limp properly. So maybe he's just putting the glass in his shoes to give him that limp. Maybe that could be what it is, and then that gives him an excuse to walk around with a cane all of the time. Because if you were just walking around with a cane and you looked normal, maybe some people would question it and he would be worried about that. So maybe that's what it is. You know, there's a few possibilities there. Then he worships this god, Emmett, who is the god of like judgment. It like judges your soul to see whether you're good or whether you're bad. If you're bad, it just kills you, like it did with that woman. And he said he wants to make Earth more like heaven by getting rid of all of these evil people, essentially. And like I said, it reminded me a bit of Light Yagami, his mentality. He wants to get rid of all of these evil people. But in that, Light was deciding who was evil, and this one is the god who's deciding who's evil. So it's a bit more understandable from Arthur's perspective, but it still does bring into question what decides who is evil and who is good. Like, what is Emmett's morality? How is it deciding who these good people are? And Arthur said it can look into the past, the present, and the future of these people. I don't know like how many different states there are, because there was like the good and the bad, and then we saw with Stevie, they said it was, oh, there's chaos in you. I don't know if that's something new that he's never seen before, but it seems like maybe that's a place where Mick couldn't really decide whether he was good or bad, you know? And he's definitely like really powerful. He's got all of these henchmen all around the world in a lot of like positions, and then he's also in control of these, I don't know what they are. They were like werewolves, kind of. You know, the design, this isn't like an insult, but it did remind me a bit of the monsters from the first live-action Scooby-Doo movie. You know what I mean? Just the way they're like almost like dogs, and they're really tall and gangly. They just reminded me of that a little bit. But it seems like he's definitely really powerful, and he has some like supernatural powers here as well. And he has some control over these animals that he's set loose in this museum. So I'm wondering, you know, a bit of his backstory. How did he come to gain all of this power, come to worship Emmett? And you know, we're seeing again here more gods introduced into the MCU, where we had the Norse mythology of Loki and Thor and everyone, and then we have Egyptian gods here as well. So I'm like, if you are a person who's religious in this universe, what must you think at this point, you know? Then I'm hoping in the next episode we get to see a bit of Mark and his personality, see him in control a bit, because this episode we only got to see things from Steven's perspective, which was really effective. You know, the cutting between the action, it was just like him blacking out and then him waking up and his blood all over him, he's been injured. That moment where he broke his jaw, that was really gross actually. It was really like unnerving, just the way it moved. But it was really effective only showing it from Steven's perspective. But I think going forth, they're going to have to show it from Mark's perspective as well, right? Just to show some of the action. You can't just cut away from the action every single time the whole show, you know? But it was really effective this first episode, just to build up that mystery a bit. So I am excited to see a bit more of Mark and what really makes him tick, what he's all about. All we really know is like he's a superhero at this point, and he's much more charming and charismatic because he set up this date as well. So yeah, this was just a really great first episode. I think it's the strongest first episode of all of the Disney Plus MCU shows. My only real complaint here was some of the CGI was a bit dodgy with the one car chase that happened with, you know, the logs falling down and everything. I thought that was a bit off, but it didn't take me out too much. But I definitely think this is the strongest first episode so far. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, leave a like or a comment. And if you really loved it, be sure to subscribe. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.